I've been trying to tell y'all. I've been trying to tell y'all, I don't know when, but something is going down. Like
that ominous warning isn't just fan speculation. It's the sound of a franchise in the middle of a massive structural overhaul.
The LA Sparks are continuing to make major moves. Magic Johnson came out before and said there will be major changes with the LA Sparks. He wants the Sparks to become a prominent figure in the WNBA again.
Magic Johnson isn't just a figurehead. When he speaks about making the Los Angeles Sparks a prominent force in the WNBA again, he is signaling a departure from the status quo. The organization is currently in a state of flux, and the moves being made or whispered about in front offices suggest that the current roster as it stands today might look completely unrecognizable by the time the next season tips off.
Now the talks are Kelsey Plum is on the trade block. They're looking to move off of Kelsey Plum. She's only under contract for this season. They are so bad to the point where she might not want to come back, and they don't want to just lose her for nothing.
The name surfacing in the most aggressive trade rumors right now is Kelsey Plum. It's a calculated risk. She is on an expiring contract, and if the Sparks are already looking at a rebuild, holding on to a star who may not be part of the long-term,
building a brand new facility that will be ready in 2027 next season. Magic Johnson ain't no fool. They are making a move to get Caitlin Clark, and it looks like this head coach could be on her way out as well.
The construction of a brand new facility for 2027 is the real tell. This isn't just about improving locker rooms, it's about signaling to the league and to potential marquee free agents that Los Angeles is a serious destination. And if you're trying to lure a generational talent like Caitlin Clark to a new infrastructure, you have to be able to present a clear winning vision. That vision reportedly involves a clean slate, starting with the coaching staff.
You have her best friend in Kate Money Martin there already. You have Cameron Brink, one of her good friends there already. Sophie Cunningham will be a free agent at the end of this season and could join her as well. The LA Sparks are gearing up to make a major.
Consider the roster connections already in place. Having players like Kate Martin and Cameron Brink on the squad isn't accidental. The Sparks are effectively curating a network of talent that aligns with the social and professional circles of the league's biggest names. This isn't just about winning games this season. It's about positioning the entire franchise as the most attractive landing spot for the future.
Lynn Roberts is going to get fired. I'm just putting it out there. I'm letting y'all know now. I know she's going to get fired. She knows she's going to get fired. Kelsey Plum's about to get traded. It's a bunch going down. Take a look here. This is Lynn Roberts. They asked her about her job security, being that the GM just got fired.
Head coach Lynn Roberts is facing the music, and her public defense of the team's performance feels increasingly disconnected from the reality of the front office's strategy. When you hear a coach lean heavily on injury excuses and mid-season process talk after a general manager has already been dismissed, it's usually a sign that the clock is ticking down to the final buzzer of their tenure.
Well, I don't think we underachieved last year, and this year's still going. We tripled our wins last year from the year before. I think, for where we want to get, that's not where we want to be, but, tripling wins from one year to the next in my first year, I don't think that's underachieving. This year, we have not hit our stride. We've played one game with everybody on our roster healthy. We've been injured all year. Hopefully we can get KP and Cam back. Our whole system's designed around KP and her unbelievable talent. But we're on, I think tonight it gets us to the halfway point, so I'm not even close to thinking that we are underachieving it.
She cites the tripling of wins from the previous year as proof of progress. But in the professional landscape of the WNBA, owners rarely view getting to the halfway point as an achievement. The organization's goal is to compete for championships, and being one game out of the playoffs with a sub-50-point record is not the marker of success Magic Johnson envisioned. Roberts knows her job security is thin ice, and the organization's pivot toward a new, aggressive identity leaves little room for middle-of-the-road results.
Look at this. Sparks coach shuts down brutal season, and this is the key part where she tried to say, we're one game out of the playoffs. It says that's the goal, the plan. We'll get healthy. I'm not buying into the narrative that we're having some brutal season. This is a process. We've had adversity. Lynn Roberts is going to get fired.
When she says she isn't buying the narrative of a brutal season, she is fighting for her professional life. But the atmosphere around the team is shifting. Fans are frustrated, the front office is cleaning house, and the persistent rumors surrounding a major trade involving their star player indicate that the process the coach is defending is already being abandoned in favor of a total reset.
The LA Sparks practice facility in El Segundo construction update. State-of-the-art facility expected to open in 2027. So they're going to have a brand new facility here in Los Angeles. And this is going to be big because Caitlin Clark is going to have, she's coming from a brand new state-of-the-art facility in Indiana that they built. She's also going to be in one when she eventually gets to LA if this thing goes down. Now, that is another move that they're making. New facilities. They're going to get a new coach, a new GM. They're going to bring in a whole new infrastructure around this deal. I'm telling you, man, they are doing everything.
Look at the infrastructure shift. The new facility in El Segundo, the coaching change, the potential exit of high-profile veterans. These are all indicators of a start-from-scratch mentality. If you are a fan, you have to ask yourself, are they really building for the playoffs this year? Or are they laying the foundation for a 5-year plan that centers on landing the biggest fish in the league? The resources being poured into this transition aren't just for a temporary fix. They are for a permanent upgrade.
The other thing is, Kelsey Plum is on a 1-year deal. Do you explore what a trade package would look like there if you were the Sparks, if you are looking to pivot? That would be the big red button. If you were asking me, I don't think they will. But if you're just looking at vets, it would make sense to at least hear what other teams are saying. The answer is still ultimately no.
The dilemma of a 1-year contract is the pivot point. If the Sparks trade Kelsey Plum, they aren't just trading a player, they are trading a signal of intent. If they keep her and she walks, they lose the leverage they need to build the infrastructure around their future stars. It's the big red button scenario. If you're the GM, do you play it safe and risk losing everything for nothing? Or do you blow it up and pray the assets you get in return set you up for a title run in 3 years?
Well, Indiana might not make the move, but a winning team could make the move. A Golden State Valkyries could use a Kelsey Plum. You get a bunch of picks and young assets from the Valkyries, and then you use those picks and assets to go and get Caitlin Clark.
Because like initially, I think quick shout out to Hunter Cruz did like a trade piece not too long ago, mentioned the Golden State Valkyries as a Kelsey Plum team. And I was like, you know what? Would be a fascinating fit. You just need like a pure, we need an actual #1 scoring option. It's like, you know what? That would make some sense.
I like the idea of Kelsey Plum. I like the idea of Kelsey Plum in the Golden State Valkyries.
The Golden State Valkyries are the team that consistently comes up in these conversations for a reason. A team that is already competitive, already built with strong defensive depth, but lacks that one elite creator who can close out games in the fourth quarter. Adding a player with Plum's resume changes the math of their entire season. From the Sparks' perspective, getting young assets and draft capital from a team like the Valkyries is the exact kind of currency needed to swing a trade for a superstar in the future.
LA has now parted ways with their general manager Reagan Peebly after a couple seasons. Just rough decision-making process from the Dominique Malunga trade for Kelsey Plum, giving up Sarah Ashley Barker, trading Rickea Jackson for Ariel.
Yo, that GM that got fired made some horrible moves. How do you give up Sarah Ashley Barker, who you took in the top 10, who was balling, played well as a rookie? Now she's a starter. She's a starter in Portland. You gave up Rickea Jackson. Granted, she tore her ACL after, but giving up Rickea Jackson for Ariel Atkins, that GM had to go. That's crazy.
The criticism of the previous general manager's personnel decisions, trading away contributors like Sarah Ashley Barker or Rickea Jackson, has left a sour taste that the current ownership is clearly trying to wash away. These weren't just missed draft picks. They were foundational pieces that could have stabilized the roster during this transition. Instead, the team is forced to dig themselves out of a hole created by a front office that seemed to prioritize short-term.
The one team I look at as a serious contender for this is the Golden State Valkyries. Golden State's roster is so well built around not having a #1 option. They have Gabby Williams, who's a great player, but not your #1. Veronica Burton, a lot of wings, Cecilia Zandolazini, Janelle Salon. They got the defense too with Kia Stokes at the 5. They have a lot of defense, athletes, wing depth, point guard play with Veronica Burton, Caitlin Chen's breakout in year 2. They just don't have that elite late game creator, big time shot creator, and if you add Kelsey Plum to that roster, that is a legitimate.
If the Valkyries are the destination for Plum, the strategy for Golden State is clear. They have the wing depth, they have the defense, and they have the team chemistry. They just need the engine. Plugging her into that system transforms them into a legitimate title threat overnight. It creates a domino effect. The Sparks get the assets to rebuild, and the Valkyries get the piece that pushes them over the edge. It's a win-win, but it also confirms the reality that the current Sparks roster is nearing its expiration date.
You are better off getting rid of her, getting as many assets as you can to potentially rebuild around Caitlin Clark. What says
you aren't making a championship run with the current iteration of this team? The math just doesn't add up. If you are ownership, you have to decide between limping to the finish line with a roster that doesn't fit your future or cutting your losses now to start the real work. The path to a championship in the modern WNBA is through elite asset management, not clinging to the past.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, and I will be live for tomorrow's game.
Is the gamble of trading your star now worth the potential of building a dynasty later? Or should the Sparks try to salvage what's left of this season? Let me know your take in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next update. I'll be live for the upcoming matchup, so stay tuned for more coverage.